Welcome back to my next video. I am still at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous meeting some amazing people. Just blows me away, the wonderful, kind, good people that are here. And today we're going to meet one of them, and this is Toby. Hello. And Toby is in this really nice Transit Connect. So Toby, how long have you been in your Connect now?
I moved into it at the end of April 2016, so almost 2 years, about a year and 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just did this van build this summer. So yeah, I had just a futon mattress in there for about 2 months, or I'm sorry, about 14 months. And then I just had a storage tote and my refrigerator I had on top of my battery box, and that was pretty much it. So I just had a mattress right on the ground, and that's how I was the first 14 months before we did the build this summer.
Well, how did that work out for you? Was just throwing things down and then actually living in it? Did that work okay?
It worked great. Yeah, it worked great. I mean, I have storage above the driver's seat, and I needed more storage. I mean, I was always moving things out of the way, which is why we did the build all said and done. And also, I could only sleep in there by myself the way it was. And since we did the conversion, like I had to pick my brother up and had my brother in there with me for about a month, living in the van with me. It converts to a double bed, and we had a little pillow barrier, and and it was, he was in some problems and needed a hand back on his feet, and
you were there.
I was there to be able to do it, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still living in town with an apartment. So
what motivated you to move into your van?
I was just working. I would go into work, get off work, be too tired to even do anything. I'd end up watching some movie or show that I wasn't even interested in, and I would be too tired to make dinner, so I just eat a frozen pizza, and I was just in a grind, and I still had, my friends, and I would go camping on the weekends and everything, but just that Monday through Friday, I was just dreading it. And I was so looking forward to the weekends, and just got to the point where it's like, do I have to do this? Do I have to work 5 days a week doing something that I'm just not interested in? And so I started looking into other options, and the first thing I came across was living in Thailand. I decided I was going to retire at the age of 50 to Thailand, because you can get a retirement visa when you hit 50, and I was just going to save up for 12 years and retire when I was 50 to Thailand. And it just became clear that I didn't want to do it for 12 years, and then I decided to half retire to Thailand. So I would just live in Thailand in the winters and live in Jackson in the summers. And at that point, it's like, how am I going to live in Jackson in the summers? I'm going to have to get an apartment every 6 months, for just 6 months. And I thought, well, I could maybe live in a van. And then once I really started looking into that, it's like, well, let's just leave out the Thailand part and live in a van. Because it's about the same budget that you need for either. And this way, there's so much of America I haven't even seen yet, and I still have all my friends around, and I can drop in and see them. And I worked at a resort for years, so I have friends all over the country, and that I haven't seen for years, and I get to see them again.
And so you were just sick of the rat race, basically, not having a life, and the certainty of doing that for another 20 or 30 or maybe your whole life.
Yeah. No.
That's unbearable.
Nope. Not going to do it. All said and done, you don't need that much money to live in a van. Like, I did a budget video on my YouTube channel, and for the month of December, I spent $750 for the whole month.
Wow.
And that includes everything. The Transit Connect gets great gas mileage, which is a huge benefit. And I'm going to track it every single month, and then I'll know exactly what I did for the year and everything. And
tell us your YouTube channel, because I'm sure there are a lot of people interested in that.
Okay, yeah, it's Toby in Transit, so Tobyin Transit, and it's all one word. And yeah, I'm just kind of getting it off the ground now, but I've got about 10 videos up, and I'm doing it. So I just worked at Amazon recently, and that really drove home to me that it's fine to do that type of stuff for a while, but I'm ready to, you know, if you only need to make $750,
right,
like, you can start doing things that you're passionate about, that you want to do.
right.
And so I'm doing a YouTube channel. I'm going to start recording music. I'm a musician, and I might even do a travel blog, and I'm just going to work it all together. I love to travel. I love to eat. And if I only needed to make $800 a month to live on, and that's all I need, like, that's actually really feasible. It's really realistic to be doing what I love for a living. I'll probably have to pick up, you know, jobs for a couple years. But yeah, I'm going to make it happen, so.
What kind of gas mileage does your Transit get?
So I tracked my gas mileage. I wrote down every fill up, and it averaged out for the first 6 months, it averaged out to about 28 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Most people say that.
It was 28 miles to the gallon, so that's great.
So my viewers demand that I ask 3 questions. You're a young guy. How are you supporting yourself on the road?
I just pick up jobs as I need it, and I usually try to keep it to 1 to 2 month gigs. I'm probably going to work about a 5 or 6 month gig this summer, but so far I've just been doing 1 or 2 month gigs. So, and I haven't quit a job. It's just that's how long the job was.
And so the next question I'm required to ask by the audience is, how do you take a shower?
How do I take a shower? I have a couple of different things that I do, but like the actual shower end, I use an Aquabot, which is a pressurized Nalgene bottle, and it just sprays. And I've also used a spray bottle because I had a mouse eat my other Aquabot, and so in between Aquabots I used a spray bottle and Dr. Bronner's, and it rinses off really easy. For the privacy part, when I had my old setup, I just had a storage tote inside the other tote, so I would pull it out, get inside of it in the van, and just use the Aquabot, and it would catch the water, and then I just dump it out. Since I have the new setup, I usually put either tarps out the back of the van, or if I'm out boondocking, which a lot of times I am, I'll just walk out of the woods.
Right.
And then when I was living in Phoenix, you just kind of cobble it together. When I was living in Phoenix, I got a gym membership.
Right, perfect.
For 5 weeks, and then I canceled it.
Oh, and then the third question is, how are you going to the bathroom?
So for number 1, I have a dollar store laundry detergent bottle.
Sure.
That's great because when people see it, it's not like a jug of urine in your van. It's just a laundry bottle. For the other, I actually have never had to do it in the van. I love to hike, and the places that I'm at, there's almost always a vault toilet somewhere. So there's you know, from trailheads, which I'm always camping somewhere near a trailhead so I can go hiking. I love to hike. Trailheads, river accesses, campgrounds, you know, even when you're dispersed camping on a Forest Service road, a lot of times there's a campground somewhere along the way, and I just always find a bathroom.
Well, would you mind showing us around your van then?
I would love to.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
So here we are, folks. We're taking a look inside Toby's really nice Transit Connect, and the first thing that stands out is the tapestries on the roof and the walls. Tell us about that.
I just got them on Amazon. They're really cheap. It's a really easy, lightweight way to cover your van, you know, rather than putting in wood or something like that. I just glued them right on. I kind of wish I had just used magnets or Velcro, just because that way I could take them off and wash them. But it's perfectly fine.
And insulation?
Insulation, I have minimal insulation, so just the places where it's one ply to the outside, so the roof and the door panels and the floor underneath the wood floor that I put in here, the vinyl flooring. I have above the driver's seat, I just put a piece of plywood because there's all this wasted space in the Transits above the driver's seat. So I have storage up here. I have my banjo, mandolin, all my backpacking equipment. So there's actually quite a bit of storage up there. The bed is a bench bed. It's about 24 inches wide.
And you made it tall. I mean, you're of course bumping your head.
It's too tall. The reason that I made it this tall is because I needed it this tall to have the kitchen that high for the back and to have space for the refrigerator. So the thing is I really don't hang out in the van. I sleep in here.
It's your bedroom.
It's my bedroom. The bed pulls out into a double bed, so there's 2 pieces of plywood.
I see.
And in the mattress, there's two foam pads. They're 2-inch high density foam pads.
Right.
And I just got some travel sheets to use as covers for them. I do have a kitchen counter. It's actually from a thrift shop. It's a restaurant. It's from a restaurant countertop, and so I bought 2 of them. They were $5 each. And then the stove just sets in.
What a clever idea!
So I can just remove it when I want to convert it to double bed.
Very clever idea.
I do have a hand pump sink, but it's just I have to screw it in and screw it out to convert to a double bed. So I just leave it out. I mean, it's really useless. There's no point to have it because I have my Aquabot. So that's
I'm unfamiliar with Aquabots. Show those. That's just a standard Nalgene with a different top on it?
Exactly. It's an Aquabot top, so you just pressurize the bottle.
I've never seen this before. And it's going to take a lot because the bottle's empty.
Because this bottle's empty. And then it sprays out in a stream or in a spray. And that's what I use to wash my dishes, take a shower, all that stuff. And, you know, a spray bottle works as well. The Aquabot's nice because you can use it upside down. So it has a tube in it, like a loose tube. So for taking a shower and stuff, you can use it upside down.
Which is a plus, yeah.
Yeah. So under here I have, this is my garbage and recycling bucket. It's a 3-gallon Gamma Seal lid.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't smell.
Yeah. Clothes, camp chairs. I do have a Mr. Buddy, but I think I'm going to get rid of it. So I just don't really need heat, really. I really don't. I stay where it's fairly warm, and I always keep my van pointed to the south, so it gets sun all day long, so it warms up pretty quick. And in Arizona here, you know, it gets dark about 5:30, and the insulation I have is usually enough to keep it warm in here until about 8 or 9, or even 9. And I'm usually asleep by 10, so I have a really nice sleeping bag if it's really cold, and I have layers I can wear. But for the most part, I'm just where I just don't go to really cold places.
You do have your 12-volt compressor fridge at Dometic.
Yeah, the Dometic 18. It's been working great.
Great units.
Yeah, and I have 2 flexible solar panels on the roof.
So 200 watts total? 200
watts total, and then a 200 amp hour battery, AGM.
That's such a low draw that it should do it just fine.
Yep, it's been working out. My panels aren't ideal, so I have the flexible panels, and they're delaminating.
That's common, and you have it glued directly to the roof?
I have them not glued. I actually have them on little frames, little aluminum frames, so they're lifted off the roof. So I did it the right way to do it, and they're still peeling. They're still delaminating. Right. So yeah, it's been about 1 year and 9 months, and you can get some video of that if you want. But
it's turning out that's pretty routine now. You buy those, you're going to get a couple years out of them before they start failing. So
I mean, they're still working.
Yeah.
They're still working. But if I had it to do over again, I would probably just get regular panels. This is a table that folds down. Again, it was a great design if I didn't have the fridge there and if I could sit up in the bed. But I can still use it. So I haven't folded this down since I got my kitchen. So it just folds down right there, and then I have a leg that screws in.
So you have a leg on the other end.
Yep, and I have a leg on the other end.
And you find you never use this?
I haven't yet.
Well, Toby, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Everyone, I hope you got some ideas, some inspiration. And if you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.